Good evening then from the ATP New York Open here, NYCB Live, home of the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, and here we are with the remaining first round matches here on this second night session of the week here in Long Island. Cameron Norrie, the British player here, 59 in the world, 24 years of age, to take on a college star in the making, Brian Shee, who has come through, won the wild card, earning it by winning a college qualifying tournament, biggest night of his young career so far. Grew up just 10 minutes from here in Jericho, here in Long Island. A massive opportunity for him here to go up against a fast rising talent, a former collegiate star himself in Norrie, who played for Texas Christian University, was the top player there. This is college night here because we have a couple of former college stars in our other match to follow this one, Jason Jung and Kevin Anderson, with very good collegiate careers. One of two remaining first rounds left to complete on Wednesday through to the start of the second round here at this ATP Tour 250 level event. So this one followed on by Jung against Anderson, former champion who wasn't able to defend his title last year due to an elbow injury. Appearing heavily favoured here, but for Shee it's an amazing opportunity to play on the famous black court here at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum in an ATP 250 level event. He certainly earned his spot here. See whether he can give Norrie any sort of issues here in this first round match. Norrie seeded 7 in May of last year. Outside the top 50, a little outside the top 50 at the moment, but one of the top players here this week, that's for sure. This is how we look then. I mentioned 2 spots left to be filled. Just a little bit of an update for you there. Riley Opelka, of course, the defending champion of I3. The first round will play Yoshihito Nishioka, the Japanese player. There you go, a 3-set winner a little earlier over Henri Laaksonen of Switzerland. So just the 2 spots left to be filled in the second round, both in this section of the draw. The winner of this one to play the winner of that remaining first round match to follow a little bit later on this evening. So what of Brian Shee then? I'm sure a lot of you tuning in not had a chance to watch this young man play yet, still in his teens. So someone who is doing very nicely for himself at Harvard University. He's a freshman there, studying for a college degree in economics. He said that regardless of how all this is going, and it's going very nicely for him at the moment on the tennis court, he does want to finish a degree and see how it goes, really. And another one amazing, really, when we look at this college night, all the players who've taken advantage of the fantastic American collegiate system and the opportunities that it affords. These 2 good examples of that. Current one in Shee, and of course in Norrie, someone who at TCU had a tremendous few years. Ended up as the #1 college player in the US back in 2017, finishing up his college career May of that year, Norrie. And has gone on to build a nice pro career at this stage. Steady development. His first ATP Tour final, and of course just over a year ago in Auckland. Team Great Britain at the ATP Cup in Sydney. I had a couple of good conversations with him there, interviewed him a couple of times as well. becoming more and more of a feature in his home country. I suppose in some ways not the traditional development route for Norrie. He struggled for, if you like, brand notoriety for a little while, but I can say personal experience, that's changing now. A lot more people know about Norrie and what he looking to, in these coming weeks, push his ranking back up towards that career high that he set in May of last year after qualifying for the Masters 1000 level event in Rome, 41 in the world. He can put some good runs together this week. In the weeks to come, Norrie will be back up to that ranking soon enough, maybe even going beyond that. Not surprisingly, as you saw there, it's the first meeting between the two. This is Xi's first match at this level. Fascinating to see how he gets on here. No pressure on him at all. Just looking to absorb it all like a sponge, really, Xi, in this situation. Take the opportunity, really, that was afforded to him. Fantastic job, I think, that this event, the tournament director, Peter Lebedev's, puts together in terms of supporting the growth of collegiate tennis, the stars of that, giving them opportunities here. Xi is the latest one, having won that qualifying tournament in January at the National Tennis Centre, to get this opportunity to play Norrie here tonight. Well, he's all smiles here, Brian Xi, the American wild card, just 19 years of age. Grew up just 10 minutes from here in Jericho, and he's got his big chance here tonight. First round action, one of two first rounds left to complete here at the ATP New York Open. How will he get on against one of the rising talents on the ATP Tour right now, Great Britain's Cam Norrie, seeded 7 here. It's going to be Xi, the wild card, to begin. Guy McCree here in the commentary box, taking you through this one. NYCB Live here at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Interesting to see how Norrie handles all of that. This, of course, expected to win, and win handily here tonight. Xi will get, you can hear it already, plenty of support. Too overawed here to begin these first few points. Xi wisely taking his time here between serves, just keeping himself steady, composed. Sure, inside his mind here, it's going to be jangling. He has absolutely torched that. Able to trade with Norrie impressively. Nailed it. What a start from Shi. What he produced in that first game, very confident start from the teenager. Played the ITF junior circuit, Shi, before starting at Harvard. Reached 62 in the junior rankings. Played the main draw of the US Open Juniors back in 2017. It was homeschooled. Play high school tennis, chose to play the juniors instead. He played matches against the likes of Canada's Denis Shapovalov along the way. That's a correction from the chair. Judging Shi's return. It's an interesting, I said it in the opening game, interesting position for Norrie to be in. Expected to win, expected to have few problems here. Bring its own pressure. Everyone is not expecting you to be troubled. Shi, as mentioned at the outset, really this is the definition of a nothing to lose encounter. He can play freely as he started here, and he's the first to break point. Norrie here can look to channel, talk about him being the top-ranked college player. He'd have been in situations, of course, at TCU where he's playing players he was expected to beat easily. Look to channel that here in this scenario. But he's up against a team here who has started on fire. Shi with the early break. You couldn't have dreamed for a much better start than that first couple of games. A long way to go. He's not really put a foot wrong yet. bit edgy in these early stages, Norrie. She, on the other hand, very composed, very sure of himself. Oh, I mean, you couldn't ask for more from Shi in these first 3 games. He's made such a good start here. 3 love to the good on the 7th seed Cam Norrie in this opening set. Said he was going to look to enjoy this incredible opportunity afforded to him, winning that wildcard invitational, that wildcard event, qualifying tournament. Brian Shi, I don't think he could have dreamed of this, the first 3 games, the way they've gone here. Just needs to find a way of steadying himself into this match. He's been somewhat ambushed in these first 10 minutes by the start that she's made. When you set these sorts of matches up, you would think that the teenager would start nervously before maybe coming into things. It's been the very opposite in those first 3 games. Norrie, if anything, he's been the far more tense of the 2. It's a good service game here to settle him and get him into this match. That's better for Norrie. Love game. Outside of ATP Cup, where he went 2-2, Norrie. 2 first-round exits since then, losing first round in Auckland, lost a lot of points as a result of that. That's excellent tennis. Took that point by the scruff of the neck. Not an easy ball to pick up, that one. Opened up the court well and then had the space to go into Norrie, using the angles well. Well, he's picked up a warning very early on here, Shi, taking too long to deliver the serve. We've seen him how he started. He's been quite keen to use all the available time, using too much there. Losing first round in Auckland, then lost first round in Melbourne at the Australian Open to Pierre Huguebert, the Frenchman. So immediate efforts to try and push that ranking back up or even beyond. Obviously suffering a double hit, particularly with the loss of the points in Auckland. It's a long season, and plenty of opportunities coming up for him, and opportunities coming up here for Norrie as well, as Shi just starting to miss a few balls, and he wasn't doing in the first 3 games. Norrie with 3 breakback points. Challenge that, Norrie. First Fox 10 review of the evening session here goes against Norrie. It's a shame because the approach was good from Shi. Didn't close down the angles, attack the ball quite enough, and Norrie able to break back here, get this first set.
How many of you were here last night to witness one of the best shots we've seen in quite some time? So good as that, it made it into SportsCenter's top 10. So good as that, it was the #1 highlight on SportsCenter's top 10. That's right, tennis under with this winner. Right there, right between the lines. You cannot beat that. Hey, if you think you can, and you missed it, then you can get tickets. You can go to the ticket box office or get your tickets. You can see more great shots like that. This is your favorite tennis player in the world. Fans, this is not all the main concourse to find out more about the new London SX rackets. It's not just about more spin, it's about more aim.
So back on serve here, Cameron Norrie, the 7th seed here at this ATP New York Open. 2-3 first set. She, the teenager, making an absolutely lightning start, taking the first 3 games. We've just seen the game leak a few errors in the last couple. He's got to tell himself here, She, if he's feeling down at all with the last 6-7 minutes of the match. Got to tell himself he's still ahead here on serve. He would have signed off for this after 20 minutes. He's threatening again here. Ambitious shot to take on. It's a bit untidy from Norrie. Footwork maybe not what he would have wanted. He was a little bit far away from the ball there, left reaching for it, hence the error. She here, 2 chances to restore the break. Norrie's challenging, but I'm not sure he's too confident here. Looks like she's made this pass. See what the Fox 10 review confirms. He thought he'd made it, that feeling. Yeah, it is good, and She has the break advantage again here. There, but let's be honest, a pretty sloppy game from Norrie again, having got the break back, letting the teenager in. I thought getting the break back would settle Norrie. Doesn't appear to have been the case here. He's still leaking too many unforced errors. His game style. And it's a terrific serve and sting from the American. She's winning more points, She, at the moment, behind the second serve, first serve percentage in the mid-50s, but that was a perfect first serve example of a third ball attack. Like that play from Norrie a lot. Just doing slightly the off forehand approach. Carved angle there out of not very much. That's when Norrie is at his best, really. His footwork was a lot better there up to the ball. A few occasions so far, the errors down to sloppy footwork. The shot actually that she is struggling with at the moment, isn't it? It's a double hand across court, sometimes getting a bit stuck between two stalls, really, looking to go for too much, and they're playing a bit too passively. Norrie, great point here to get the set back on serve again. It's good length, good pressure from Norrie. There's she not really getting any opportunity to dictate the point. Second break point of the game for Norrie. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's found a way through, has he? It's going to hurt for Shi if that's dropped in, because he was dominating that exchange. Norrie finding a way through and finding the break back again for a second time in this opening set. He's back on serve with Shi. This time at 4-3 down now.
Congratulations, guys. You deserve it.
So 2 breaks each now here. New balls as well in play, coming towards the half-hour mark. Norrie back on serve, 3-4 here. With the American teenager, the wild card, Brian Shi. The local, grew up 10 minutes from here, Shi. He's given Norrie all he can handle and more so far. Just wonder now whether this is the time in the match where Norrie starts to really impose himself. Thought that might be the case when he broke back the first time, but then he threw in a pretty average service game to be broken again. Second double for Norrie. Says another forehand that he is complete. He does strike a good ball off that wing, clean and true. Side, enough else for Sheet to contend in that game, and Norrie levels up now in this first set. Just changing things up now. We often see that new balls, he managed to put the hold in there, that players have a different approach on that. Isn't just the case across the board by any means that players at the new balls change the racket. Some do it again before the advent of the new balls, and it's Norrie a game after. Got their reasons for doing so. Of course, the new racket with greater control. Strings as they are. Some players like to bring that in just before the new balls, which can fly somewhat. Others like to come in, as I say, when they come into play, those new balls, and others like a through this first set. Nothing Norrie could do about it. It's too much quality. A little bit deeper with his forehand, Norrie, but this still took some doing. Just nicely in behind that sheet. Very good technique. I mean, Norrie will look to try and target a bit more of the traffic away from that forehand. At the moment is still to go there, or if not, maybe he's looking to break that shot down as the match goes on more. Seen a high number of winners from Shi already off that forehand side. From Norrie, and again Brian Shi would have signed off on this 33 minutes in. He might have been a break up twice, but he's first to 5 now. Norrie will have to handle some scoreboard pressure when they return. Minutes in then. Norrie, the 7th seed here, Long Island, New York, serving to stay in this first set. He's been down a break twice to the teenage wildcard Brian Shi. Solid. The volley difficult for Shi. Down low enough there. He knew he would get a second opportunity. Like that one if Norrie's way. It was a straightforward volley, to be honest. It was decent height. Missed that by distance. Kind of out of keeping with what we've seen in the first 35 minutes from him. He's normally in those situations been pretty composed. Excellent serving. Okay, a few more first serves, I think. First serve around 50%. Timely ace there for the American. Could have played that. She leaving it there, thinking it was going wide. He let it go. Misjudgment from the teenager there. How good is that? The anticipation from Norrie. Just stuck around in that area of the court. Managed to get that big forehand from Shi back in play and read the American's intentions beautifully there. Break point. Forehand breaks down there for once for Shi, and Norrie, who's been down a break twice in this first set, the Brit, now breaks Shi again and will serve for the set shortly. 6-5. Down a break twice. Now Cameron Norrie, the 7th seed, serving for this first set. Do here. He's played such a good first set. 40 minutes of tennis. I don't think you could have expected to be contending this closely with Norrie. Oh, he's made that as well. Norris, so well. Really should have been Shi's point there in the bank. We have a Fox 10 review from the American. Norrie has made it. He's deceptively quick, Norrie, around the court. Norrie there going back that way. I think he was expecting it to go across court. Yeah, you can see his split step was the other way and he had a lot of ground to cover to get back. Too much. Third ace of the set for Norrie. First set point now here for the British man. Norrie there digging in, twice a breakdown, but the 7th seed first set off the teenage wildcard Brian Shee here by 7 games to 5.
We are going to leave for you the fight song for Harvard University in honor of those crew who did our honorary coin toss before tonight's match. Here it is, Fight University of Harvard.
Brian Shee then playing so much good ball, the wild card at Norrie. Twice a break up in that first set, losing it in the end to the 7th seed, 7 games to 5. He's thinking about the early challenge there, Norrie. Deciding against it. He did a very good job there, Norrie, of turning that set around. It's the platform now to maybe go on, set war on. So a few more mistakes from Shee. It's tough to be too critical, though, of this teenager with how well he played, particularly how well he struck his forehand. Norrie will be looking to keep the intensity right up here, though. On the last 3 games of that first set, to continue that here. From Shee. Maybe the door opening up here again for Norrie. Held his shot, waited for Norrie to make the move into the space. tennis. That's the way he started the match. Designs that Norrie had rather on getting an early break, snubbed out by this teenager into the run of 3 games against him there. And he's got to be enjoying this. Keep coming back to his comments he made beforehand. He was just looking to improve. Set down, you feel he's still enjoying it, and that's fundamental to getting the most out of this, win or lose here tonight. Threads it away again. Said that a few times. Norrie, she rather doing a string there, which is the reason that he had to get forward, did that little paddle approach. Concentration well there, having drawn Shi in. Good service game from Norrie there early on in this second set. He's definitely cut out many of those errors he was making in the opening sections of the first set. Norrie tightened up his game. She wants a challenge here. Wasn't that close to the ball, which suggests maybe that he could have got this one right. Players get this wrong so often, and in fact he's got it quite badly wrong there. It might be a slightly different outcome or a bit closer, but it wasn't. So often players misjudge it when they get that ball dropping very quickly right into the baseline. from Norrie. Confirmed by umpire Fatui. Oh, it's got a fraction of the line there. Simplicity itself, isn't it? It's very good, isn't he, Shea, at getting quickly up to the ball into position for that shorter return. Picking it off on the third ball. It's strong stuff from the wild card. He's responded well to the disappointment of losing that first set in the manner that he did. Ahead of Norrie on the serve early in his second at 2-1. On serve here, in this second set. Cam Norrie still a setup, but approaching the hour mark. 1-2 down in the second. Off the baseline, Norrie at this point. His previous service game, he's not giving a lot away now. Much harder for Shea to get into these return games than earlier in the match. He's not getting as many freebies now. As I say that, Norrie throws in the unforced error on the forehand side, but the general pattern is that he's more solid. Comfortable service game for the Brit. Just a couple of points off his first couple of service games in this second set. good length on the approach from Shi. He didn't actually have to play a volley. Taking Norrie's time away on the forehand side there. Steady from Shi. Just enough aggression in his ball strike there without going overboard. It's smart from Norrie there, looking to hit the cover off the ball, just concentrating on moving Shi side to side with the change of angle. Norrie back from 40 love down here to juice. Gee, will really need some first serves and follow-ups here. Norrie starting to look to flailing because he stretched Norrie here, but then with the approach just didn't do enough. Too easy for Norrie there, just into his strike zone for the pass. Needed to do more there, Shi, really, after the good prior strike. Facing down a break point now here, the American. Double fault, disappointment for Shi, his first double of the match. And it's Norrie who breaks first in the second set. Setting 3-2 now for the Brit. break up now. Cameron Norrie's hardly had things all his own way in this one, but an hour and 5 minutes in, now has this match where he wants it, really, you feel, for the first time. Brian Shee, the ATP Tour debutant, he's giving him all he can handle. Key really behind this has been Norrie's service games have given him more confidence. Look at the time in that first set where he dropped serve for a second time. It was a pretty wretched service game. She finds a return there. General pattern now is of Norrie moving through his service games more easily. That one in the slot, if you like, for Shee to take a swing at it. Short arm jab. This is where Norrie can really look to impose himself now, having got the break. It's away now from Cameron Norrie. He's been impressive, Shee, particularly in that first set. Was up a break twice. Just feeling this second that as Norrie has tightened up his game, Shee's found it more difficult to find the winners that he was producing in that first set, especially off the forehand side. We've seen less of that. Double faulted to lose serve in his previous service game. Another one there for Shee. It's just maintaining the intensity as well. He did well at the start of the second set, responding to the disappointment, if you like, of losing the first, having been up a break twice. But these last few minutes, the levels dropped a little bit. There's another one. He just simply wasn't missing that. First serve, still only around mid-50s, could do with a few more first serves, maybe just sometimes look to take a little bit of pace off the ball. For Shee, maybe sometimes could just look to throw in a three-quarter pace serve, which in these conditions would still be good enough, you feel, for him to get the first strike opportunity in the rally. Better length at the end there, drawing the error. not to me. If it is, then she has done very well to hold there from love 30. We'll see. And that is a good service hold for the young American. Stays in touch here, second set. Just when it looked like Norrie might go on and break again and close this soon. He's still a set and a break up, but it's just 4-3 in the second to Norrie.
If you put your best to be the best you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, my goal is to win it. Okay? Okay, thanks.
She, the local, but Cameron Norrie still a set and a break up, 2 games from the win. Second set so far, just 3 points lost on the serve. First serve percentage in the set of 73. There's another one. Yeah, 2 points lost behind the first serve, just 1 behind the second when he's had to land it. Challenge from She this time. Successful challenge from She, and then, as is often the case after the break, pause for the server, the double fault follows. He's enjoyed that, Norrie. He's actually liked. Although he didn't get it done first time there, always fancy him, especially in the modern game with the second volley there for She. Sat up nicely for Norrie to pick him off. Whips that away superbly. He's just a game away now, Norrie, from round 2. Let's go and finish this off. Started well. It's always difficult coming new tournament week. especially against a young opponent who was pretty inspired for that first 25-30 minutes of the match. He's managed to find a way through that, Norrie, and he's got better as the match has gone on. She really, he's not out of this yet. It's all positive. Well, he's pushed a top 60 player, top 50, top 60 player in Norrie. He's got much more experience. Remember, led him by a break twice in that first set. Positive for him, ability to test himself here, and he's put in a terrific account of himself on this stage. He's still not done yet here, let's not forget that. Enjoy every point, every moment here out on the court. Try and extend Norrie as long as he can, even if it's going to be in a losing cause perhaps. He's been pretty good off the ground in this second set, Norrie. Too good for Shi there. 2 match points now here for the 7th seed. Second match point chance here. This time really that he's missed the passing opportunity, Norrie. Shi. Get out the channel. Third match point for the Brit here. All over this time. Cameron Norrie, the 7th seed here at the New York Open, making progress. Good win in the end over an exciting young prospect, the wild card, the teenager, the American Brian Shi, who led Norrie by a break twice in the first set, but Norrie coming through from there. And it is the Brit into round 2 here in Long Island. Solid win in the end for Cameron Norrie. Certainly didn't have things all his own way there, particularly in the first set. At the end of the day, you don't remember all of that, just remember the W, and he's managed to get that. Brian Shee getting a huge hand from his home support, hailing from Jericho, just 10 minutes from here or so. And he certainly put in an excellent account of himself here against a top 60 player in the ATP Tour. Norrie taking care of business after that difficult start. Tennis balls into the crowd here. You hear from him very shortly. Norrie will be pleased to have negotiated that in straight sets in the end, especially after the difficulties that he had in the opener. She impressed.
Congratulations. So you went into this match, you're down 3-love in the first set, and then it completely turned around for you.
Came out with more energy than me. He was real aggressive from the start and looked like he was enjoying it, and it's tough to play against someone with all the pressure was on me, so credit to him for kind of starting like that, but I managed to kind of get down and knuckle down and play my game, and ended up serving really well to close it out in the second set.
And of course tonight is college night. You attended TCU. Tell me about your experience there, since it is college night, to speak to all these other college students.
Yeah, I mean, TCU for me was phenomenal. My coach is from TCU. One of my mates is up there from TCU, so it's nice to have some Horned Frog support out there. But I mean, it was phenomenal for my tennis career. Great coaches at TCU, and I think the college system was perfect for me, and I think it's doing great for Brian at the moment. He's playing great, and I think it's perfect for up-and-coming tennis players to get the degree and play a bit of tennis as well.
Excellent. The next time, I promise you, we will get the TCU fight song. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for Cameron Norrie, advancing here in the New York Open.
Cameron Norrie, of course, here on college night, as it's been themed that the ATP stars involved. A former college star. Seeing off a current one in Harvard's Brian Shee, who's certainly impressed. Just fell away a little bit in that second set, but as I was saying, it's really difficult to be too critical of him, the 19-year-old. He played very well. Norrie, as he referenced, served better as the match went on, ending up with that first serve points one of 71%. Well, in the second set, it was 4 points on serve in the second set, and that was the foundation for him to go on and win that in a couple of sets over Shee. So Norrie through to round 2 here in Long Island, and he'll play the winner of our remaining first round match coming up very shortly. Jason Young, the man from Chinese Taipei, to take on the former champion here at the ATP New York Open, Kevin Anderson. That's coming up very soon.